Hi, I'm Seth Jackson from howtorunaband.com, and this is a live Ustream where I just blabber and chat about some things in the music industry. I might stick to script, I might not. So, feel free to chat with me anytime if you have any questions or you want me to answer anything or you just want to call me full of shit, whatever you want. Just do it right there in the little chat box. Today I'm going to talk about three things I saw in the blogs today. One thing was CD Baby, CD Baby's Chris Robley in the DIY musician blog they have said that mystery in music doesn't work for indie musicians, and I just can't disagree more. I think he's referring to Tom Waits and Tom Waits' new album, but we'll get to that. The second thing I'm going to discuss today is Dave Mathews has been crowdsourcing his new video. I forgot what the name of the video is because that's how prepared I am for these things. But yeah, it's a really cool thing about crowdsourcing and creating a video from his fans. And then the last thing I'll be talking about is Spotify. How their numbers are increasing to the point that people that were initially like, hey, screw you, Spotify, are jumping back on board and releasing their music to Spotify. So that's what I'll be talking about today. So let's go back to the very first thing, which is mystery in music marketing. So Tom Waits sent out an email today that had him looking like a pirate and had a big cigar in his mouth, and he says something like "come on board" or "jump on board August 7th." That's all it said. So everybody's talking about it now. What's Tom Waits going to do? It's either August 4th or August 7th. What's he going to do on August 4th or August 7th? What's he going to release? Oh no, it's crazy. Then Chris Robley kind of went on the back of that, I think purposely being a little bit controversial, to say how it works for someone like Tom Waits, who's really big, has a lot of followers, but it doesn't work for the average indie musician to be mysterious and be vague about what they're doing, which I just can't disagree with more. I think we need more musicians being more mysterious and more inciting our curiosity about things that we want to hear more about. I do, at least. I'm so sick of musicians. I see flyers and it's all there what's going to happen. There's nothing new. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing to compel me to go out to a show or buy your album or see anything that you're doing. Why the hell would I spend my time and go out and do things when it's just all like written there? It's like, we're a band. We play music. We're going on at 9 p.m. See you at the show. I mean, there's nothing there that sparks any type of curiosity. That's what I think like a new album or a tour or anything else you got special going on, it needs to be treated like how movies treat releases of movies. I mean, Hollywood starts a full year in advance. They'll just put a trailer out there that you're like, what the hell is this trailer about? You watch it for a full minute, and then all of a sudden it just gives you a hint at what's coming, and you're like, oh, what does that mean? What's that going to be? And they keep adding on to it and keep going on to this giant campaign where it just builds up to a fury, where to the point where you can't wait to see this movie. You're just dying to see Dark Knight Rises. You're dying to see The Amazing Spider-Man. You just can't wait till that movie comes out. I think musicians need to do that more. It doesn't matter if you're on the bottom of the rung of being a musician. I think you can use that in your favor. I mean, use curiosity, use mystery, use suspense, use something like, even for your own show, it's like, oh, we're going to do something that we're never ever going to do again for this show. Never ever do again. You're not going to see this again, and we might get kicked out of the club. I'm curious. I want to see. I don't care if you're someone I don't know. I don't even care if I like your music or not. I want to see why you might get kicked out of that club. I want to see what you're doing that's so insane that you can't even tell me about it. I think that's part of the whole mystery thing. I think we need to think more about our campaigns, about our music. We don't put enough thought into it. We release it, we do a CD release show, and nothing. That's it. And we're like, why aren't people buying our CD? Because we didn't build up to it. There was no suspense. There was no air of what the hell's in this. There's no scarcity, like, oh, here's the limited edition thing with a secret song you're never going to hear. There's so many ways you can just build upon that, and we don't do it enough. So I think, yes, Tom Waits is a master at it. He has a whole PR team behind him to help him with these things, but you can do it as well. I think Any musician can do something like this. You can be extremely creative and just come up with a whole bunch of these little campaigns to keep your fans excited and into what you're doing. I think it's more fun to create suspense, mystery. I think it's great. Hell, you can even do like little weird hunts for things to get into the show for free. It's like, oh, here's a scavenger hunt. Whoever does all this stuff gets a free CD or a free T-shirt and gets into the show for free. You know, it's a fun thing people can do and interact with your band. Why the hell not? Not enough bands do this. It's fun. It's fun, fun, fun. Fun for everyone, fun for you, and fun for your fans. So, sorry, Chris Robley. I disagree with you on that one. And tomorrow I'll post this up on my blog and you can see the links to all that good stuff. Because, actually, I don't know if this chat box actually might allow me to put links. So, if you guys got the chat thing open, I'm going to try to put this into a link. I don't know if that lets me... Oh, yeah, it worked. No shit. Hello, technology. But now I lost all my settings. Damn it. Haha. Sorry, one sec. Technical difficulties. But yeah, in the chat box, I put the link to that, and the link actually works. No shit. Happiness and awesomeness. So yeah, I'm probably going to get to this thing. I plan for babbling for 1 hour, but I'm babbling pretty fast tonight. So unless you have questions, I'm probably going to get to this in about half an hour. So yeah, feel free to ask me a question anytime during this. I love answering questions. I'm here for you. So cheesy. All right. So the second thing I saw today, which I thought was really cool, and I've seen it before, but I love seeing it come back up because I keep forgetting about it, and then I see someone do it, and I'm like, oh shit, that's something I got to do with my band, because again, it's on that thing of having fun. Dave Mathews. No matter what you may or may not think of Dave Mathews, he is one of these musicians that has been in there for the long haul and has like 3-day festivals that sell out. So you cannot dismiss Dave Mathews. But what he's doing for a new song he has is crowdsourcing it. And actually, I went and visited the site, and it's pretty intense. You can pick all these things to do with pictures, like pictures of your face, pictures of parts of your body, clothed, of course. They really emphasize clothed. Then a couple other weird things. I don't even understand how to take pictures of what he was asking. It's like something with weird rectangles or something juxtaposed on your face. I don't know what he was asking for in that one. I think having a couple of examples would have helped people on that crowdsourcing thing. But anyway, he's asking for all these different types of pictures of people. Whatever you want to submit, you can then upload the photo or video. He gives you the same types of instructions, like show yourself like swaying side to side, not showing your hands, so it's something like and I upload a video doing that, and so I'm really curious to see what the crowdsourcing thing turns into. I mean, I've seen other bands do this too, where they have zero money and they need to put out a video for their band, and they just call out their friends and say, hey, we're going to turn on our iPhone, start recording you dancing to our music. So they go to this house, start recording all their friends dancing to the music, and voila, they stitch it together and they have a really cool video. It looks fun. So there's a lot you can do with a very little, and tapping your fans can do is not only it's fun for your fans to participate with you. Again, when I'm going, before we're talking about the mystery and music marketing, and having the bit of mystery is just playing with your fans and bringing them into the process. You're not on a fucking, some mountain of gold with your magical producers that you're just spreading some weird godlike thunder upon the fans below in the valley. That's not it anymore. I mean, you and your fans are working together. I mean, you're providing a service to them. You're subservient to your fans. Your fans need to be on that mountain. You are an entertainer. You are the one serving them. That's what we are as musicians. We make other people smile, think, feel a certain way. That's what we do. And the more we can involve the more we can involve our fans, the more fun it is for both. I think for everyone involved. Unless you just hate talking to people, then I don't know why you're in this business. I don't know, go buy an island like Bob Dylan. I don't really understand musicians that are, scared of people. Like, I think I was just reading about Fiona Apple, and she's deathly afraid of her audience to the point where she just stares at her microphone, won't look at the crowd, won't talk to the crowd. Honestly, get some psychological help for that shit. I mean, people pay money to be entertained, not to see you standing there awkwardly, not being able to even look at the people that pay 20. Why the fuck would I pay money for you to not even have enough balls to look at me in the crowd and smile and be happy that I'm there for you? I'm there for you. I'm there to support you. I paid money. Okay, there's been a couple times I've been drunk and yelled at bands, but heckling, won't ever do it again. But seriously, don't be a shitty punk band opening for my favorite industrial band. Just don't do it. Anyway, that's changing topic. So, yeah, that's really cool to think of just ways you can get your fans to submit pictures, singing along with your video. One way I wanted to do it with my band was actually just put the video out there and just put the lyrics at the bottom. And that way, put it up on YouTube and just have it a lyric video. And then ask fans to do whatever they want with those lyrics and submit it, whether it's pictures or them doing videos or dancing along or singing along. But the thing is, have the lyrics there going along so they can look at the lyrics and sing along in case they, they probably don't know the lyrics and they shouldn't have to open a separate screen trying to find the lyrics. So make it easier for the fans, and they can just do that right in front of their computer webcam and just have fun doing it or being weird and honestly kind of scared of what a couple of my band's fans would do on a webcam. I know it's not going to be something I want to see, but whatever. You have to kind of... I'm sure Dave Mathews is getting some interesting pictures. PBR. Should get an endorsement. So, yeah. Again, if you feel like you want to chat or ask me a question, then feel free to ask any question. I'm going to go on to the last topic for the evening. And that's going to be, I'm really getting through this stuff fast. Last time I babbled on for nearly an hour and didn't get to the third thing. So, last thing is Spotify. Apparently Spotify now has 4 million paying subscribers. There's been a lot of controversy about Spotify because you get like 0.00002 cents per stream. So in order to make any significant money off Spotify streaming, you'd have to have thousands and thousands and thousands of download or streams in a row. Basically, everyone in America would need to be listening all at once for you to get any money at all, to even make minimum wage. So it's really difficult to quantify that. But I just saw this really hilarious info. But the thing is, these subscribers, paying subscribers that pay a monthly fee, are getting larger and larger and larger and larger. It's becoming more of an economic resource for labels. For musicians, for labels, woo, they're unfortunately labels. Let's see, what's that? Hey, was it Juddy? Juddy? Anyway, I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'll call you Juddy, if you don't mind. Let's see, what's that figure from? It's actually, let me put up the thing. It's from Hypebot. I also saw it in Billboard magazine.biz. They also posted this thing, so let me give you that link. So, I think, the figure for, I don't know, are you asking for the figure for digital, the thing I saw in Digital Music News? They have an infographic, and the numbers keep changing about like what percentage payout each musician gets, but it's ridiculously low. And let me see. Sorry, I actually didn't grab the link for the little Digital Music News infographic that said what you get if you do it as an independent musician. You actually get a little bit of change here and there, but if you're actually part of a label, the label gets the money, and their musician, it's really, you don't know how much you're going to get. It's really hard to tell. The links aren't coming through? No way. I just posted. Do you see anything I just posted? How to run a band censored? Oh, hang on a sec. Let me try this and redo it. Does it work now? Sweet. Yeah, I guess on this chat thing, there's this little thing called allow links, and I didn't really notice it before. So there you go. I guess the other link I had didn't work either. But yeah, that's the thing to the hype bot, like covering. I think there's 26 million people. No, 15 million people who are listening, active listeners, and then there's 4 million people that are actually paying subscribers. Like, I don't know, was it $7, $10 a month? The number. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. So that number is increasing to the point where actually I don't have the link for this. I read it somewhere, getting too much information. But I think Century Media, who does a whole bunch of metal bands, they initially did not want to have anything to do with Spotify whatsoever. And they're actually now seeing these improved numbers. They're back on board with Spotify. So they're like, here, I'm going to be, yeah, we're going to, I should look that up, but I'll have that in my blog post or something tomorrow. But Century Media is now back on board. So it's something for, they're not a major label, but they're still a label coming back on board with that stuff. So there has to be some financial incentive for them to do this. Or it's just that they can't fight what is working. Spotify is still growing despite everyone kind of railing against them. So it's still something that if you have your own music and you're an indie and you don't go through a label, then you can actually get that money directly. Of course, you're going to get change, but really, I see as a musician, your money is coming from multiple places. You still have your physical CD. You get vinyl. You get your digital downloads. You get your Spotify streams. You get your Google AdSense set up and get your stuff through YouTube by making videos and things and corny stuff. You get your AdSense set up on your website. The more people that come through to your website, you get things like that. You also start submitting your music to things like Music X-Ray. You just have to keep doing, live music, your limited edition stuff you have to keep working on. So Spotify is just one of a million ways of getting music. So looking at it as, oh, the music industry is going downhill and this is the only way that we're going to be able to make money as a musician is a horrible way to look at things. There's a million of opportunities that are opening up for you to directly connect to your fan. The only industry that's dying is the major labels industry. The traditional ways that worked in the 90s and previously are the only thing that's not working anymore. So really, you have to be a little bit creative. You have to get your PayPal merchant account. You have to use things like Topspin, or you can use there's this cool little app. I don't know if you've used it before, but it's called Square Up. And you can download it to your iPhone or Android or iPad. And you just get this little device that you get for free. And you just scan a credit card and boom. You can take credit card purchases wherever you are. So it's another way of making money at shows. And, some people don't have cash on hand. Zip. Square Up. Let me just put that out there. HTTP squareup.com. And that is in the US. However, I think PayPal is doing stuff that's about the same thing that I think is opening up in the UK. So I don't know if you're listening from the UK or not. And time to drink some more PBR. So, anything else you guys want to talk about? I just kind of blasted through the things I wanted to talk about. I thought I'd be blabbing on for an hour, but apparently not. So, anything you want to ask, feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to try to figure out what the hell to start blabbing about. So, there are some things that I've been researching, kicking around, thinking about, and trying to put together into how the hell am I going to do this type thing. I can start talking about if you want me to. But feel free to interrupt me and ask me whatever the hell you want to ask me. So, see, suppose the Spotify payment rates could improve once the service gets more users. Yeah, I think there's something else shady going on with Spotify. And I think the only way they could have even opened in the US is to get a lot of bad deals. Bad for musicians, great for major labels. I think they were facing an uphill battle trying to get enough of the rights to do this in the US. Just the way the major labels and the RIAA are set up. It There was another article somewhere that I was reading about music startups. Most of them just can't get started. The major labels have and the RIAA have made it so extremely difficult for any of these new music startups to get started by just putting the barrier so high that they can't get there. It's mind blowing. I think it was somebody from Rhapsody was talking about how all the improvements that can be done with music have been met with nothing but opposition from the major labels, even Spotify. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that Spotify had to do a lot of backroom deals to satisfy the major labels and give them a majority of the cut versus independent musicians getting like 0.000002 cents. I think major labels might be getting a lot more than they want to admit. I think that's another reason why Spotify doesn't publish its numbers and isn't transparent at all. But that's just me guessing because nobody knows. But that's what I feel is probably what's happening. Is Spotify's cutting deals. So probably a lot of that advertisement revenue, even though people are listening to your music directly, a percentage of that is probably going back to the top 40 artists and the major labels of those artists. Most likely. I've seen that's what happens in other areas of the music biz, and unfortunately, that's the way it is until indie music artists kind of kick the major labels out of the way. That's what we're going to get. They have lawyers that are very highly paid lawyers that we do not have. Man, maybe we should have our consortium of independent musicians to have our own major label lawyers that battle major label lawyers and say, "Fuck you. Let's make indie labels or indie musicians be on top, not you major label motherfuckers." My opinion. Let's see, what the hell is I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, I was talking to someone and they were asking me about how to increase their. They said they're just getting started out. They're starting to finally get into clubs, but they don't have their. They notice their friends and family are jumping on board, but let's see. Yep, and payment dramatically improve with paying subscribers as opposed to ad supported, according to reports. Yeah, ad supported stuff is really, you're like pay per click versus pay per impression on the Spotify. Yeah, pay for impression and clicks, that's really low. You get a really, really, really low percentage. You don't get a lot of money from that stuff. I mean, even in the millions, you're not getting a lot of money. So, yeah, if that money was going all to you, yeah, you'd be doing fine. If all that money from the advertisement was going to Spotify, they'd be doing great right now. But if they have to dole that money out to musicians and major labels, then yeah, it's however you get into the paid subscriber base, that's when Spotify can get a recurring revenue stream that's dependable. So yeah, that's the way to go. I think Spotify's on the right track. They're just opening up their services to more and more people, and I think once they are successfully in cars, I think that's the secret to everything. If you're in cars, you win. So if new cars started coming out with Spotify right in it, people would just ditch most other radio and start listening to Spotify. My opinion. I think we're a few years away from that, but not too far off. But yeah, now I'm starting to turn into a media futurist, so I don't want to do that because I'm usually way off and completely wrong. But back to a band that they're just getting started. They're just getting some new fans, and they're starting to like be able to get out into the clubs, but they're not getting the traction they want. They're not getting their music downloaded enough. They're not getting enough new people to their shows, and it's kind of asked about how to help them out to get there, to get more people out there. And unfortunately, I couldn't just jump in and say, sorry, I'm sweating because it's hot. It's summertime. In Seattle, we have no air conditioning. Okay, so have to take a step back. You can't just say, oh, do A, B, and C, and then you'll get tons of new people at your shows. That's not how it works. One, you got to know who you are, who you're, who you are, who your target audience is, and what sets you aside from every other band. So let's, I guess, take a step back on that. Who you are. You have to know, you have to be able to say what genre of music you are and what else you sound like. I know everybody wants to say, I sound like such an original band, it's so new, and nobody else sounds like us, and can't describe our music. And you know what that does? That just alienates anybody who wants to listen to your music. That they don't want to take the time. You're one of 1 million bands, and you only have 1 second to connect with them. If you can say, yes, we sound like a cross between U2 and, I don't know, the Cranberries. I don't know. I'm just reaching right now. We sound like a cross between LMFAO and Madonna. Whatever. If you have to give people a bridge to cross over to know who you are, you have to give them a bridge really quick. They have to say, I'm this genre of music. I'm dance, I'm folk, I'm rock, whatever, I'm metal. And then say, I sound like these two bands, and give people like, okay, I can walk across, I can now understand where your band's coming from. And you make that connection really quick. All right, take care, Juddy. Thanks for joining. It was really cool that you hang out. Take care. So, yeah, to really build, you have to build that bridge and do it quick and give the people a reason to come over and check out your music. Of course, you don't need to sound exactly like those bands. Of course, you're trying to do something original and new that's you, but people don't want to hear something new. They want to hear something they're comfortable with. They want to know that they can, oh, it's like, oh, I like those two bands. I like that genre of music. I will come over and listen to you. But yeah, if you don't have that, the very bare minimum, one, it's hard to book shows. And it's hard to get people to come out to shows if they don't know what genre of music you are. So you got to keep it simple with the genre of music. Then, yeah, so that's just knowing who you are and being able to tell other people really quickly something that gives them a bridge to get over to your music. 2, know your target market. You can't be all things to all people. I know you want to say that you're a mass pop band that everyone in the world wants to listen to you from 13 years old up to 65. Don't do it. Your music might actually appeal to that age demographic. Everyone might be getting into your shit. You know, I saw Ozzy Osbourne things where there's 12-year-olds and there's people in their 60s going out and checking out Ozzy. But when you're first starting out, you need to really target it. You need to narrow down who you really want to target to be. I mean, if Justin Bieber tried to be everything to everyone, he'd be nothing. He knows what he wants. He wants an 11-year-old girl that has crushes. That's it. That's it. I mean, he just completely dominated that market. Lady Gaga got the weird dance pop market. I don't know. And there's, of course, there's other markets. I mean, there's older markets. Let's see. I know Jimmy Buffett usually appeals to more of the career types, like doctors, lawyers, and people that just want to hang out on the beach and drink a margarita. You know, he appeals to the more, they're not people that aren't poor or young. So, but they really enjoy his music, and they'll travel miles just to go hang out with Jimmy Buffett. So, he knows his demographic. He knows his market. So you need to narrow it down to like an age range, or if it's not an age range or male or female, then it's a particular mindset that you're going for. Like, are you going for the self-help people? Are you going for people that are into mystery, aliens, or whatever? You know, narrow it down and try to keep it narrow. It doesn't mean you need to narrow your music. You need to narrow how you market your music. Your shit might appeal to everyone, but you can't market to everyone because you'll have ineffective marketing. If you can narrow it down and market it to people that are into aliens and think their cats protect them from aliens, then that's very specific market, and you can probably do something with that, even if it's a little bit silly. You can narrow it down and do something with it. So yeah, narrow down your target market, and you can start doing something with your marketing that is very specific, very fun. That's when things become fun because it's okay, I know who I'm talking to, I know how I need to talk to them, and now I can put things out there and really just go with it. So like, yeah, say you have like the crazy cat alien thing, then you can find like a magazine or something out there that's about ancient aliens, or you can find something with cats, and you can go to those blogs. So instead of competing with everybody at trying to get onto Billboard or Pitchfork or all those other places, instead you go to where they're not. You go to where cat blogs or other shit. I don't know, whatever you want to narrow down your niche to be, but you can be where no other band is. I mean, Jonathan Colton, he I think he just got, what was it, $200,000 just recently. And he also got his music into a big video game called Portal 2. He released his music, Code Monkey. He released it on Slashdot, which is a tech geek internet site, slashdot.com. And it's just a geek site. He released it, and all the geeks loved it because all these people are coders and technologists, and they just loved Code Monkey. The song just hit. He had an instant following, and it just went from there. He just knew his demographic because he was a software engineer himself. So that's what he is. Like, cool, I'm going to go after the coders, geeks, technologists. So if you narrow your market, you actually open up a wide avenue of ways to promote your music and different places to promote your music other than competing with every other damn band out there. So yeah, know your target market. Along those lines, also be fucking unique. You have to set yourself aside from everyone else. So if you have a certain type of music, be different. I mean, I know I said before, like, know your genre of music. Yeah, but you don't need to sound exactly like every motherfucker out there. You got to do something that sets you apart. So if you, let's see, you need to like go out and expand your horizon of music and sound a little bit different, mix and match things up, and get a new sound. I mean, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of painful moments with your band trying to eke out these new soundscapes. It takes some open-mindedness from your drummer and guitarist and bass guitarist, singer, to actually delve in and try to develop some new skills. So, but I think it's highly important nowadays, since it's so easy to publish your music, that there's just a sea of music now. And you can listen to anything at any point in time, and it's just overwhelming. If you don't sound different at all, you don't stick out. And along those lines, if you don't look different, if you don't do anything different live, you don't stick out. If you really want to be, way above the rest, everyone else, you got to figure out ways to make yourself look. Whether it's your light show, whether it's something going on visually, you don't need to look like an idiot, but I mean, if you can do something visually that makes your show stand out, makes you stand out, just the way you present yourself. I mean, an easy way to do this is look at every other band in your particular genre, see what they're doing, and then don't do it. Do the exact fucking opposite. Do something crazy that no one else is doing. That's how you make yourself stick out. And then you own it. I mean, you're not ashamed of it, you own it. You're like, this is what we are, this is what we do. And all of a sudden you're unique, you're sticking out. You are doing something that no other band is doing, and you know what? That becomes newsworthy. Bloggers, MP3 bloggers, news stations, anyone, they'll want to interview you. They'll want to take, people that want to take photos. They just want to take photos of the weird looking band or the unique looking band, something that has visual appeal, something that's just different than everything else. People are craving something different to knock them out of their boredom. So that's what you are in the end. You're an entertainer. You're trying to keep people from being fucking bored. I mean, how many shows have you gone to where you're like, oh, this band's good, but damn, I've heard it before. I've seen it before. Not really doing anything, and kind of want to go out and have a drink or smoke or something. Bored. It happens. So, yeah, you got to think of something to make you stand out, stick apart from the crowd. And God, wouldn't it be a beautiful world if everyone stuck out? Then the only way to really stick out is to be the same. Just ignore me in that one. All right. Well, I've been babbling on for over half an hour now, and I don't see any new questions, so I am going to take off. So, anyone who doesn't know me, I am Seth Jackson from howtorunaband.com. Feel free to stop over at howtorunaband.com. I think I'm recording this. I'll pop it up on YouTube, and I'll put it out on my blog tomorrow with those links that I forgot to look up before the show. So, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, if you have any questions at all, then you can send me an email at seth@howtorunaband.com. All right, take care. Bye. I can't make it stop.